Saludos, Vali, saludos aquí al Código Michoacán, reportándose con todos ustedes. Pues tiene mucha razón este Vali que está ahorita hablando del tema de la reforma migratoria. Les voy a presentar el video, Vali, les voy a presentar el video. Les voy a presentar el video y ¿saben por qué les voy a presentar el video? Porque es importante que ustedes vean cómo la gente que sabe utilizar la lógica lo puede hacer. Lo explica bien suave, pero mucha gente que no sabe utilizar la lógica no sabe ni dónde está parada. Eso es muy importante, Valis. Así es que pongan atención. Para los que no sepan inglés, pues ahí se los dejo de tarea, mis Valis. Ah, oui, oui.
They'll tell you to get in line, as if there is a line, as if the system is a deli counter and everyone gets a neat little number and waits their turn, and poof, American dream. But there is no line. There is a wall. There is a labyrinth. There's a bureaucracy so tangled it would make Kafka blush. And there are millions of people climbing through it anyway, risking everything, working hard, raising children, contributing to the only economy that seems to notice them when it wants to jail them or use them. We'll start with the rules in the United States. You can become a citizen through one of five primary paths: family based immigration, employment based immigration, refugee or asylum status, the diversity visa lottery, or naturalization after holding a green card for a number of years. That's the blueprint anyway, and it sounds tidy. But just try living through it. To even apply for naturalization, you need to be a permanent resident for 5 years, or 3 if you're married to a U.S. citizen. You have to be physically present in the U.S. for half that time. You'll need to prove good moral character, meaning no criminal record, no tax issues, and no missed child support payments. And then you pay about $800 in fees. It's not including your attorney costs, English classes, or civics test preparation. And then you'll wait 6 months to a year, and a lot of times much longer, all to prove just what most of these people prove every day: that they want to be here, work here, raise their kids here, and pay into a system that locks them out. And asylum is even more harrowing. You have to be on U.S. soil already. You can't apply from your home country. You have to prove credible fear of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. That's hard enough, but the process is designed to break people. One wrong form, one missed deadline, one half asleep answer in a crowded ICE detention facility, and you're out. And God help you if you're from a country the U.S. doesn't want to recognize as a problem, because that would require us to care. So when you hear someone say, why don't they just come here legally, you need to understand that that's like telling a drowning person in the ocean to just take the goddamn ferry. And so why do immigrants stay on expired paperwork? Because it's hard as hell to renew. When you're making $9 an hour under the table and the form costs a third of your paycheck and the lawyer wants 2 months' rent because your employer doesn't want you to renew. They want you undocumented, unprotected, and too scared to speak up because the system is built on making immigrants exploitable, not legal. And yet the backbone of American labor, agriculture, construction, child care, elder care, hospitality, is built on immigrants, legal and otherwise. We don't just benefit from them, we depend on them. But here's what real immigration reform should look like. It should start by creating a path to citizenship that rewards contribution. You've been here for 5 years working and paying taxes, and yes, they do pay over $96 billion in federal taxes annually from undocumented workers, raising children who are American citizens. Give them a way forward, not a wall, not a jail cell, not a court date 5 years from now that gets canceled twice and rescheduled with no interpreter. We need a worker visa system that's modern, streamlined, and reciprocal, not just for tech or hedge fund execs, for farmhands and welders and plumbers and nurses. We need labor mobility pacts with Mexico and Canada, real ones. Let seasonal workers flow where they're needed, safely and legally, with the ability to return. Let's invest in North American labor strategy instead of pretending we're islands with nothing to gain from one another but cheap goods and election year border rhetoric. We need to expand asylum access for those fleeing real violence and persecution. We need trained, funded immigration courts with case managers, not just border agents with razor wire. And yes, we need enforcement, but we need smart, moral, proportional enforcement. And who should be deported? Of course, violent offenders, and they should be deported immediately. Human traffickers, gang members, repeat abusers, send them back. If someone has repeatedly and willfully violated the law and contributes nothing, shows no effort, no intention to do right, yes, they should go. But that is not most people. That is a very, very small fraction. Most are just trying to live, raise kids, send money home, and maybe get a chance at a better life, the kind our ancestors took for granted. We cannot be a country that builds an economy on immigrants and then punishes them for existing. We cannot be a nation that holds the torch of liberty in one hand and a deportation notice in the other. And if we want to stem migration, we invest in Central America. We fight corruption and gang violence, not with drones, but with education and jobs and clean water. We stop supporting regimes that destabilize their own people. We put our money where our values are. We don't need walls. We need policies. We don't need cruelty. We need clarity. We don't need fear. We need a moral spine and a working system. Because no one uproots their entire life to sneak across a desert unless staying means death or despair. And if they come here to work, to raise children, to contribute, then we owe them more than slogans. We owe them humanity. And maybe a goddamn welcome mat. Defiance till death.